As sensitive, intuitive people, INFJs have a sixth sense about others. We have this ability to see through people's outward persona to the real person underneath. Strange characteristics of the INFJ personality. Number 1, the all-or-nothing mentality. I've had this illness for as long as I can remember, and I expect I'll have it till I pass from this mortal coil. Love ferociously or not at all. Work long hours every day for days on end, or laze around and put off important tasks all weekend. Exercise assiduously and eat healthily, or pig out on the couch and eat junk food. I am unable to take the middle path, at least not for an extended period of time. I have no idea why. Could it be that, as Rosa Nochette Carey puts it, with passion or not at all? We INFJs are simply hardwired to do things. Maybe living in the center of the road feels like a life in a rut. It appears uninteresting, boring, and uninspired. There is no room for growth. No chance to deviate from the route to find your own. It removes the highs and lows that are necessary for us to experience the entire range of life. If I'm being honest, though, I'm concerned that this continual swinging from one extreme to the other might simply indicate that I'm still on the wrong road, idly looking for the correct one. Number 2, incapability of settling. This relates to the first point. INFJs are looking for the one, but perhaps not in the traditional sense of a love partner, although that is still true, but rather in the sense of a life purpose. INFJs appear to be always searching for a job or career that makes them feel like they are making a difference, helping others, or leaving a lasting legacy. To paraphrase Loki, I frequently feel as though I am burdened with glorious purpose, but I have no idea what it is or where to look for it. I always go on after settling into a job or project if I'm not enjoying it, instead of pursuing something that makes me feel nothing or worse, limits my ability to advance personally and spiritually. I'd rather flee and search for something different. But it comes with its own set of issues, such as not having a steady source of money. I'd like to think that this is an example of my entrepreneurial spirit, but I'm not sure. It is getting frustrating that I can't finish what I started, although I'd say it seems more like a perceiver feature as opposed to a judger trait. Might it be a P for perfectionism? Number 3, positivism. In relation to perfectionism, in my business endeavors, if things don't go as expected or if someone disappoints me, my initial enthusiasm for the enterprise dwindles. People or businesses simply don't live up to my perhaps too high standards. Then, unavoidably, disappointment sets in. And sure enough, I move on to the next endeavor or connection. I feel like it reflects poorly on me as it keeps happening more frequently, changing from project to project and from vision to vision, but always struggling to make a living since it seems impossible to make those visions a reality. Time and people are not right. Or is it my fault for the way I conduct myself in relationships or in business? I admit that I have a tendency to be excessively optimistic and naive, which often leaves me disappointed. But I've vowed to never let my viewpoint become overly pessimistic. Instead, I make an effort to focus on the useful lesson I can draw from each encounter. Number 4, aloneness versus friendship. On the tip of one finger, I can count the number of close friendships I have. IRL friendships, not virtual ones, are what I'm referring to here. This appears to be somewhat contradictory, given the extroverted feeling characteristic of the INFJ. I need to form close bonds. I want to be in long-lasting, meaningful partnerships. Those that foster both sides, growth and inspire, encourage and sustain it. However, it takes a lot of time and effort to achieve that level of intimacy. And therein lies the issue. I want to be able to offer my all to my friends and partners. Therefore, everybody outside of that select group is typically relegated to the status of acquaintance. I'd rather not offer at all if I can't give everyone my very best. That's presumably the reason why INFJs tend to have smaller social groups. Number 5, constantly contradictory. This is related to numerous of my earlier points once more. I have the ability to use my introverted intuition to move between extremes. Some find it incomprehensible. They see me as paradoxical, enigmatic, cryptic, and most of the time terribly frustrating for both parties. The introverted intuition and extroverted feeling of the INFJ make them excellent for mirroring and adapting to various situations and people. As a result, I frequently come off as very different depending on the circumstance. When people get me, which is very uncommon, I can be the life of the party. But to most people, I come across as terribly quiet, reclusive, and shy. Very common. I can blend in when I want to, but I strongly rebel most of the time. It's interesting that this rebellious side of me surfaced later in life as I began to feel comfortable in my INFJ skin and made the decision to let go of the mask and follow my convictions, even when they go against the grain of society. For those close to me, especially those who have known me for a while, the change from being a people pleaser, mirrorer, to not worrying as much about confrontation was perplexing. I don't feel the need to blend in with others now that I have a stronger understanding of who I am, and I suppose it comes off as a little startling. I'm less scared to reject individuals who don't match that pattern these days. For example, those who don't respect my boundaries or those who have a negative attitude on life, because I'm more selective about where I choose to invest my energy and affection. Number 6. Writers instead of talkers. INFJs are introverts who have trouble speaking on the spot, on the phone, or in person, but when it comes to writing, we can produce works of art, despite the fact that I've never met an INFJ in person that I'm aware of. It makes sense why there are so many INFJ writers. We fumble, stutter, and murmur, well, maybe just me, or we'll just remain silent. However, when we write, our ideas frequently flow more easily, even though I usually have to go back and edit my work numerous times before I'm satisfied. What could be the cause of this? It comes down to time, in my opinion. In any given situation, we have the capacity to see a wide range of potential outcomes, improbabilities, and ambiguities. We also dwell within our thoughts, thanks to our introverted intuition. As a result, we frequently engage in multiple conversations and even arguments at once. And all of this internal commotion contributes to the bottleneck that we must express. Sometimes it spews out in a way that is so illogical, not even we can understand it. But when we write, we have time to sit down, organize the barrage of thoughts, and edit them so that they are clear and concise. Our writing helps people see inside our minds and offers order to the confusion inside. Number 7. Having both a broad and detailed perspective. If we maintain equilibrium, this may benefit INFJs, but it can be a constant struggle given our paradoxical all-or-nothing nature. INFJs are visionaries who play out scenarios to their logical ends and understand the larger picture. However, we also have the capacity to delve deeply into a project, which aids in the realization of that goal. The issue emerges when we fail to move the project ahead by staying at one extreme or the other. Do you enjoy what you're reading? Click here to sign up for our INFJ-only email. Number 8. Caring thinkers and doers. Despite all the challenges INFJs face, I think we have one major advantage. We're empathetic thinkers and doers. Even if we may not complete every job or carry out our ideal vision for it, we virtually always try. When we are committed to a goal and are confident that it will benefit others, we work hard to make it happen, even if it only affects one person. On that note, I'll end this video here. I hope you liked it. If you did, give it a thumbs up and do not forget to subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.